my gardening friends, welcome to my channel. Today is May the 9th, 2023 and I wanted to show you what my garden looks like today, and let's go walk around and see what's blooming in this garden. It is really a very beautiful morning, and I have a lot of my daffodils and tulips. Tulips are blooming, and especially in the front yard, lots of tulips are blooming. And I wanted to take this time and show you what the garden looks like in early May, what's blooming in my garden, and let's walk around and see what's happening. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Preeti and I garden here in Toronto in Zone 6, 5 or 6 depending on the year, and it is just really beautiful to kind of see spring finally burst. Everything has really filled out in the last week or so. I feel like everything is just exploding right now, and I just want to capture this moment with all of these beautiful blooms that are happening in my garden right now, and I wanted to walk around and show you what's happening. So this is my front yard garden, and it is quite a big garden here in the front, and as you can see, slowly I have been taking over most of my grass in the front yard. So it's just been amazing to transform this garden into this lush beauty of beautiful blooms. So here we go. Here are the daffodils that are still blooming in this garden. They've been blooming now for a few weeks, and I am amazed at the staying power these daffodils have had, and it's been gorgeous. And now they are joined by beautiful tulips in these bright colors of red. I will give you a look, and this is an assortment of bulbs that I just threw together in here. So there isn't I don't even remember the names. I just kind of put a whole bunch of bulbs together and I mixed it up in this border, and I think the effect is stunning because it's a nice mix of colors, and they ended up being in the same tones, and they look really pretty in this garden. I especially love them contrasting with the Angelina sedum in the back. It is just stunning how this whole bed looks, and these flowers are kind of going for weeks, and I have a lot of people stopping in my front yard taking pictures, which is really adorable to watch from my window inside, and it's been awesome. Look at these blooms. This is the Muscari, and it has been also just starting to bloom along with the tulips. So very nice pairing with these tulips to have the Muscari. Just so beautiful. Look at these red. I have alliums that are going to be coming up next in here, but look at these tulips. These red tulips look fabulous, and I wanted to show them to you in contrast with these beautiful daffodils. Look at these. These are gorgeous, so huge, and I love how they have the orange kind of like a border around those centers, and they look so awesome, especially with the red tulips. Lots of beautiful blooms in this little bulb area. So the GMs are also blooming in the back there. This new bed that I extended just recently, the phlox is settling in and it's just starting to bloom. This is the creeping phlox. I'm hoping it does. It's covered in blooms by next week. That would look really pretty. Everything else in here is filling in, and I think the roses are getting ready with lots and lots of leaves. I do have the catmint also getting ready with lots and lots of buds, as you can see. So this should bloom soon, and there should be a sea of purple soon here. Here is another parrot tulip that is blooming. This is so gorgeous. It was completely open last night, and now it's closed back in, and in the evening this flower completely opens and it looks really pretty. I have lots and lots of buds on the peonies, and yesterday there were a ton of ants on the buds, so here they are. So there is a myth that if if there are ants on your peony buds, then they will flower, or the flower will open. So I don't think that's really true. I think they just kind of really like the sweet sticky substance that's excreted from these buds, and they just love sucking on that. So that's why they're on it. I don't think they help the flower open. But you know, lots of people believe that's what happens. You need ants for the peony buds to open. So I have ants, and if that's true, then it is what's going to happen soon here. So lots and lots of beautiful tulips. I have some really, just one lone pink tulip that's opened here, and there is a couple more in the back over there, the same kind. And then on this side, lots of rose foliage here. So it's looking really healthy and looking really good. This geum is about to burst open, not yet though. I have some yellow tulips here and muscari that's blooming, and this heather has been blooming for a while. So this pair, this color combination is looking really, really pretty in the garden. So let me turn this around and show you from this angle. So this is the other side of the front garden. I must say the Brunnera is looking awesome. It has been blooming like this for a couple of weeks now, and look at how beautiful this one looks. It is huge and gorgeous. It's just so beautiful, and it's really, really grown since last year when I planted it. It's gorgeous. Look at this one, and there's a little tulip that somehow made it in between the Brunnera, so it's looking really cute. So on this side, I have some tulips, but they are mostly, here is the pasque flower that is blooming over there. The old blooms are fading, and there are some new buds that are starting to open up. I have one tulip that survived here and is pretty beautiful, and lots more tulips in the back over there. So they're just starting to open. Lots of yellows. Let's walk closer and see. Just an assortment of colors here. Lots of yellow. I love the yellow tulips, and there's this one white tulip in the middle there. So a mix here, and then as I pan across, you'll see there's lots of foliage, colorful foliage around here. There is this bonfire euphorbia that has bloomed today, and it's beautiful. I love the colors it brings to the garden. There is the other one that is not blooming yet, but this one has just started to bloom, and the color has changed on this double play Doozy Spirea. It was bright red, and now it's slowly turning green, and it's beautiful. I have lots of daffodils blooming here. There are some tulips interspersed, not too many left because of squirrels, but I do have some which I'm happy about. There are a few that have remained, and they are looking beautiful. There's this one here that's really beautiful, and lots of daffodils in the back there. And there is a pink one that's blooming in the middle over there. Just so beautiful. And there are some purple tulips here, as well as daffodils here. So let me give you a view of the garden from here. It's super colorful, super beautiful this morning, and it's so nice to see all the foliage coming through. This is my Japanese maple. It is starting to open its leaves, and I love the color it brings in my garden here. It's beautiful. And here is a whole bunch of color in this garden here. It's just so stunning and beautiful. Let's now go into the backyard, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. So let's take a look at the side yard and see what that is doing. Again, the daffodils are still blooming in here. Lots of Tahiti daffodils, as you can see, are still blooming. There are tulips that are blooming, and the yellows are just so stunning and so fresh in the garden at this time. It's just so lovely to see all of these colors in the garden. And Candy Tuft is also blooming, and it's looking really pretty in this garden. I have a bunch of candy tuft all around this circular station for my bird bath, and it's just looking super stunning in this garden. The daffodils, I'm telling you, have been blooming now for a few weeks, and I'm amazed at how long they are blooming. I thought they would be done by now, but they are here and they are still looking really, really stunning. I just wanted to pause and show you the foliage on the candy corn spirea. It's just really beautiful, especially with all the yellows of the daffodils. And now I have some more red tulips in here that are blooming as well, and they are just super cute with all of the yellows, and the contrast is very beautiful. Just stunning. Let's walk around and see what else is blooming in here. Lots and lots of daffodils still blooming, and new ones are popping up every day. Look at this pretty one. I love how this one has multiple flowers. It's so beautiful, so pretty. I hope you can see it. It's beautiful, gorgeous. So let's walk around and see what else is happening here. It's a sea of color. Hostas are starting to emerge in this woodland garden, and it's going to soon be covered in hostas, hopefully, and fill in and look really pretty. Let's go in here and see what's happening. Look at these blooms here. Aren't they gorgeous? So beautiful. I also have the Virginia, which is blooming and looking stunning. This is the heartleaf Virginia, and it is beautiful. The flowers are really, really pretty. And more daffodils along here that are still blooming, looking beautiful. Here is some more Brunnera that is blooming here as well. Not as big as the one I showed you in the front yard, but it's still looking really pretty and filling in here, which is really gorgeous. I also have a little bleeding heart that's blooming. This is a cutleaf one variety, and it is really, really pretty. It has these dainty white blooms. Let me just show you. They are really, really pretty, and multiple spikes of this beautiful, beautiful cutleaf bleeding heart, which is really gorgeous in the garden. And then it looks really nice with these daffodils in the background. I think they are now slowly starting to fade. These are the Tahiti daffodils, and they're looking more creamier than yellow, I think, because the flowers have aged quite a bit. They've been blooming now for a few weeks, so it actually really looks lovely with this cutleaf bleeding heart, which is really stunning combination. Hellebores are still blooming. I think they are forming seeds, and they are just still showing me lots of blooms, which is really nice, and they're starting to get their leaves. Here is another array of blooms, lots of daffodils, tulips are opening up, and again, it's a very similar combination as what I had in the front yard. Lots of reds and yellows and whites, and I think this combination looks really, really pretty. And very strong presence in the garden, which I love in a garden. You know, I am very drawn to the hot colors in the garden because I think they stand out from a distance, and they just look very pretty in the garden, for me at least, and I love this combination very much. And I think once you have a bunch of colors in your garden, I think for me every color goes with every color, and I don't have themes, but I have just colors I love, and I just put them where I feel I want to put them, and they somehow work, so I really like them. And here is I think this is Baby Kim viburnum. It's a fragrant viburnum which is blooming, and it looks really, really pretty. I don't know if you can tell, the blooms are pink and white, and they smell wonderful, and this is really, really pretty. I planted this last year, and I'm amazed that it is already blooming, and it is covered in blooms, and it looks really, really, really pretty and dainty. Love this one. Gorgeous. So let me turn around and see what else is happening. Nothing really is happening in this garden here. This is the end of my backyard towards the fence. There isn't much happening here. Just lots of plants I think are getting ready, and I think they'll bloom next in a week or two. I do have some lilacs here that have buds, and I think these will be beautiful when they start to bloom and smell wonderful. Lots and lots of blueberry flowers here and blueberry foliage here, so this is looking really, really pretty. I'm hoping I can get some blueberries here this year, and this is beautiful. And here's another look of the backyard from I'm at the close to the back fence here, and it is just beautiful with all of these bulbs that are blooming. It adds so much color at this time of the year. This is my elderberry. I think this is lemony lace, and it has some blooms as well, and it's looking really, really pretty as well. Let's see, let's walk over to this other side and I'll show you. I have similar colors blooming here as well. There is tulips that are, I think these are the parrot tulips. They are just about opening, and they are really pretty. The colors are really gorgeous. Look at the colors on this. I love the parrot tulips. I mean, they are just really, really pretty, and the colors just always amaze me because they have this almost like a, somebody just took a bunch of colors and made an abstract swirl, and it's just so beautiful. The hyacinths are fading. This is really, really beautiful. On this side, the other side of this garden, I'll just go back a little bit so you can see what I mean. Very few bulbs compared to this side, and I think this is the side where squirrels got to a lot of my bulbs, but it's good. In some ways, I do have hyacinths and I have daffodils, and these will naturalize over time, so I'm glad that at least some of them survived and made it. And I think intentionally I did not plant too many on this side from what I remember last year. It's a little bit of a blur for me, but I know that I had tulips here, which I only have one of them blooming here, which is stunning, but I think there were more tulips here as well, and they didn't show up. But whatever showed up is looking pretty, and I think I know for next year which beds I need to focus on to add a few more bulbs and protect them somehow from the squirrels. So I think I will be adding a little bit more of daffodils in this bed just to balance out both sides. And yeah, so they are looking stunning. This middle bed, let's see what's blooming here. I think I do have some really, really delicate very different tulips blooming in here, and it's looking pretty as well. And I think there are some daffodils that are going to open up here as well. This is looking pretty. And then in this border here, I do have the daffodils. These were one of the earliest ones to bloom, and I think they're just going over now and the alliums are getting ready. But this patch here should open up soon, and I think by the time I do my next video, this one should have blooms and I'll show them to you. But it's looking gorgeous. And then I have a bunch of daffodils blooming here, and these have been blooming for a while now, and they are stunning. Look at these, just beautiful. And what I realized is by planting a different mix of daffodils, they have been really long blooming because they kind of come out at different times and really extend the daffodil blooming season. So I would advise, if you love daffodils and you want a lot of daffodils in your garden, plant many different varieties so that they can kind of keep on blooming and give you these blooms throughout. I think they've been blooming all of April for me, and now I think it's almost mid-May, so I think I will still get another couple of weeks from these flowers, and by that time a lot of the other perennials will be ready. So they really take you through the time when all of the other plants are filling in. So really important and really pretty in the garden. And the squirrels will not dig them up. I mean, they don't like daffodils, so hence so many have survived in my garden, and they're looking really nice. So here is another patch of those similar tulips as I showed you over there. They are really pale and they're really pretty, so very different colors compared to the colors I had shown you earlier, the hot reds and yellows. These are very pastel and pretty. So this garden here is also filling in, and as you can see, the leaves, you can barely notice them in the ground. As the leaves shine through, these leaves are gonna get sucked in by the earthworms and they will become organic matter. So that's why I kind of leave most of my leaves on the ground, and by the time it's this time when all the leaves are appearing, you barely even see it. So let me just span and show you this, my project that's work in progress. It is happening, but it is taking its time, and I will update you once I have a good amount of work done, and I'll walk you through what I've done and show you. But I just wanted to give you a view of the garden from here. How beautiful, how peaceful things are looking this morning, and I am so happy. Sorry, there is a lot of mess around at this time of the year because there's always something to be done in the garden, and I've been really working hard on the side yard, and so there is a lot of stuff that is lying around which needs cleanup, but I am enjoying all this beauty. And I wanted to also, I will share a video of some of the new plants that I have already planted in this in my garden beds, and take you for a special tour of those plants and share some information about them with you, and show them to you. Sorry for all this noise. There is garbage collection day, and the truck sounds are out here early. I decided to do this tour early in the morning to avoid these sounds, but they decided to come early as well. So sorry if there were parts of this video that were more noisier than normal, and but I really wanted to capture this moment because in the sunlight it's hard to see a lot of these colors and what they look like. So here is my garden this morning on May the 9th, and hoping for more blooms to come from this garden and share them with you. So this is my weekly tour, and I wanted to just show you what's happening in this garden today and just the way it is. And I hope you enjoyed this tour. Give me a thumbs up, and I will share with you what else is happening in this garden in my next video. I hope everyone who's joining me is having a fabulous day wherever you're joining me from and enjoying your own gardens. So thank you so much for joining, and I'll catch you in my next video.